Welcome to another edition of Biloxi A to Z, your insider's guide to what's happening in Biloxi. This is for Friday, December 31st, 2021, the last of the year. We're going to tell you how to handle some of your holiday leftovers. And this week, Biloxi went on record as wanting to build on the cooperative spirit and success of the median work on Highway 90 and the West Beach Boardwalk. The city wants to partner again with Harrison County on some important water and sewer projects in West Biloxi and Wool Market. And as you'll see, it's matching money. We'll introduce you to Biloxi's top cops in a special presentation on BTV in January. And today, we sadly announce the passing of an icon in the law enforcement community. As we bring down the curtain on 2021, we find ourselves with an opportunity to help communities that are spending these holidays recovering from catastrophe. We're going to have all of that, plus a preview of what looks to be a great weekend before the temperatures fall off. And yes, there's a chance of rain tonight and this weekend. But we begin today with the story that just won't go away. COVID-19. It is, once again, a mixed bag of news and lots of numbers. Today, 660 days into this pandemic, just 2 months shy of 2 years of this, we find ourselves with reports of more new cases than ever nationwide and in Mississippi. 250,000 new cases a day nationwide. 3 new cases every second. There have been more than 13,000 new cases reported in the last 7 days in Mississippi. That's an 80% increase. They're calling it the 5th wave for COVID. Here's the very latest. The Mississippi Department of Health reported nearly 4,900 new cases of COVID-19 and 11 new deaths in the state Thursday. That's covering a 24-hour period from 3 in the afternoon Tuesday until 3 in the afternoon Wednesday. At that same time, 162 new cases were reported in Harrison County. In the 6 lower counties, only 3 deaths were reported between December 21 and 29th. And as of December 29th, there were 514 people hospitalized in Mississippi with confirmed infections of COVID-19. Of those, 123 were in the ICU and 57 of those were on ventilators. The majority of those hospitalized are not vaccinated, according to the health department. Here's one thing on the hospitalizations. Over the past week, hospitalizations have increased at a very rapid rate, with 400 total admissions for COVID-19 reported on December 27th, and that's compared to 239 admissions 3 days earlier, from 239 to 400 per day. Your takeaway should be this: it ain't quite yet over. In fact, right now, it's stronger than ever in terms of the spread. 67% of the new infections are due to the Omicron variant, they say. Omicron is far more contagious than Delta, but it's much less severe. In fact, the incubation period is only 5 days, followed by 5 days of mask wearing. With Omicron, health leaders say that there's a 50 to 75% less likely a chance of hospitalization or death. At the same time, remember this: if a tremendous amount of people are acquiring Omicron, the sheer numbers mean that hospitalizations are going to increase. Here's that chart. You can see it for yourself. Public health leaders are urging people to continue to wear a mask at work and in public settings. By all means, get vaccinated or get a booster shot if you're eligible. The majority of those being hospitalized are unvaccinated. Masks remain optional at city facilities in Biloxi, and Mayor Andrew Fofo Gillich reminds residents as we enter this holiday weekend, use common sense, be careful, be aware. To meet the growing demand for testing, the state is expanding the times and places where people can get vaccinated. For more information about vaccinations, links to appointments, and safety protocols, visit the city's website at biloxi.ms.us. Or you can call the Mississippi COVID-19 hotline at 877-978-6453 to schedule a COVID-19 vaccination. Biloxi wants to build on the cooperative spirit of the median work on Highway 90 and the success of the West Biloxi Boardwalk. The city is seeking to partner again with the Harrison County Board of Supervisors on some important water and sewer projects in West Biloxi and in Woolmarket. To hear Mayor Gillich tell it, there's some federal water and sewer money on the table, and the state said it would match the local contribution. What the mayor and the city are looking to do in the spirit of cooperation and teamwork is to see the county and city maximize their efforts on about $30 million in projects. These include 2 in West Biloxi and 2 in Woolmarket that are already designed and ready to go. Here's the mayor's explanation to council members on Tuesday.
We had $28 million worth of water sewer projects in our plans. Isn't that right, Mike? So the idea is we'll get we got $28 million of of projects within Harrison County. And a lot of them, well, we're all in Harrison County, but some of them were the same projects that they were planning on. So put them in together so that we reduce our position to maybe 25%.
Gotcha.
So basically, we're trying to maximize that $28 million in recovering it from that set of $1.8 billion allocated to us.
Okay.
Do we know how much money Harrison County? I know
$40 million.
40 million. Okay, thank you.
And we are 23% of Harrison County, for those who wanted to know.
Okay.
So we're just I'm trying to tell you how we got $8 million
Right.
out of their $40 million.
Okay.
The city council voted unanimously to approve the idea to make the county aware of these opportunities for its residents in the city. And now this. Joining me now is Brian Wallace of the Biloxi Police Department. Thank you for being here.
Afternoon, how are you?
One thing that I remember, and it was such a seminal event in Biloxi's history, we always go back to it, but after Hurricane Katrina, it seems to me like we had police departments and sheriff's departments from all over this country here in Biloxi helping us, and it seems like Biloxi Police, y'all have never missed an opportunity to help pay that back.
Of course not. The outreach and support from across the nation that came to us during Katrina, we've never forgotten. And any opportunity we have to repay that or help someone who's went through a disaster or some major event and they need help, we're trying to help them. We're always there to help.
And that brings us to where we are today.
Absolutely. The victims in Kentucky of the recent tornadoes.
And what is the Biloxi Police Department doing to help those victims?
So we're asking for donations of small tools, hammers, shovels, gloves, bleach, cleaning supplies, anything they need to rebuild, clean up, and get the ball rolling to, you know how long it took us to road to recovery. They need the basic essentials to start that road to recovery in Kentucky.
We're a big thing too is we don't want any clothing.
No clothing. We will take non-perishable food, however, but the emphasis right now is on tools.
Small tools,
hammers, nail pullers, crowbars, possibly, gloves. I mean, you remember after Katrina how much stuff we were picking up and our hands would get cut and things like that. We remember that. We know what they need, and we're trying to help them any way we can.
Now, we know there's a lot of kind-hearted people here in Biloxi. Tell them what they can do when they got something that they want to donate.
So if you collect these items, you can bring them to the Biloxi Police Department at 170 Porter Avenue in Biloxi, obviously. 24 hours a day. We have collection boxes set up in the front lobby. There's someone always there. Walk in, you'll see the boxes, drop them off, and you can leave. Simple as that.
Yeah, please, we're asking you to just do your part. What do you remember when somebody brought to you after Hurricane Katrina?
The one thing that stands out to me, I was working for another agency on the coast during Katrina, and we were all staged up at the Civic Center, sleeping in the Civic Center. We had just bare stuff, like everyone did. And a semi-truck pulled up and they said, "Hey, we're looking for the police department's bunkhouse." And well, this is it. You found it. And he said, "Well, we got some stuff for you." And they opened the back of that truck, and there was generators and washing machines and refrigerators. And it was like, it's like they opened the truck door and the bright light come out from behind and said, "Oh," you know, it was like, the basic stuff that we went without that we didn't realize. So we had several families, and officers' families, citizens that lost everything, just like y'all did. And that was just a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, so it had the God music.
It opened it up and you're like, oh wow, what is that?
Now we're not asking you for a washer or a dryer or a refrigerator, just the whatever you can do to help. And the Public Safety Center, Lopez Cuevas, is at 170 Porter Avenue. You're set up right there in the lobby, and if someone has a question,
There's someone there 24 hours a day available at the front desk, and they can also call the Community Relations Division at 228-385-3303.
thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
One last question. What's the plan on when to take this up there?
So we're going to stop the collection on the 15th of January, and we hope to have everything palletized and roll out the week of the 17th, which is 2 or 3 days after we stop collections. We're going to get it all palletized, and we're going to roll out and bring it to them.
So don't wait till the last minute. January 15th is your deadline. Biloxi, please take action.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. The new issue of B News Monthly was delivered this week to homes and businesses across the city. And those of you who don't live or work in Biloxi can see it online right here. It's a 28-page issue with the latest news, a month-long calendar of events featuring 12th Night, MLK, and lots more. There's also Nick L. Shrimp and Back in the Day, the infrastructure report, news from Keesler and the Biloxi VA, advertising from local civic-minded businesses, and lots more. Also included in the January B News is info on Christmas tree recycling. In Biloxi, bring the trees without ornaments and other decorations to one of 2 locations, on Highway 90 at the Comfort Station parking lot east of Rodenberg, or at Mississippi Power's Plant Watson on Cowan-Lorraine Road. Christmas tree recycling stations are open now until January 10th. And next weekend, January 8th, from 8 a.m. to noon, is a cardboard recycling event. It's the 4th annual. Who knew? Drop off your cardboard to be recycled on January 8th from 8 a.m. to noon at one of 5 locations. Those include the Edgewater Mall parking lot, the D'Iberville Civic Center on Auto Mall Parkway, or the Harrison County Work Center on Lorraine Road in Gulfport. You can meet the top cops in the Biloxi Police Department in a special presentation that makes its debut on BTV Saturday. It's on at 8 in the morning and 8 in the evening and 2 in the afternoon. It's the 2021 Biloxi Police Department Awards Program. Tune in. By the way, you can see all of the BTV listings in the newsletter, and the new schedule will be right here online January 1st. This link is also where you can watch BTV online. And of course in Biloxi, it's on Sparklelight 56 or UVerse 99. Here's the weekend forecast. Check out those nighttime temperatures as we move into the weekend. On the decline they are, and yes, there's a chance of rain in the forecast for New Year's Day and into the evening Saturday night. So what's up this weekend? Lots of New Year's Eve parties and celebrations are taking place at public venues from one end of Biloxi to the other. Please celebrate safely. Enjoy bringing down the curtain on 2021 and ushering in 2022. It was just the other day that the Biloxi Police Department and Mayor Fofo Gillich were honoring former Biloxi Police Inspector and Chaplain Robert Burris on his 82nd birthday. And now comes word that the former inspector, who was in failing health, passed away this week, on Wednesday afternoon in fact. Robert Burris served the Biloxi Police Department for more than 40 years in all. He brought a level of professionalism to crime scene investigations and was recognized as a leader by his peers. He continued to serve into a fourth decade as the department's chaplain and helped where needed, when needed, with compassion, understanding, and professionalism. Condolences to those in the Burris family, and especially to those in the Biloxi Police Department. It's with that sentiment in mind that we leave you today with a salute to someone who made us proud, Robert L. Burris. He epitomized the Biloxi Police Department's motto of justice with dignity. We'll see you again next year.
Whereas Robert L. Burris was born in Wilmington, North Carolina on December 5th, 1939. And whereas Robert joined the Air Force in 1957, served for 20 years in the military law enforcement, retiring in 1977. The next year, Robert joined the Biloxi Police Department. Whereas Robert began his career with the department on March 15, 1978 as a patrolman. He later moved to the ID Bureau, known today as Crime Scene Investigations, where he achieved the position of inspector. During his career, Robert processed thousands of crime scenes to include homicides, suicides, and violent crimes. Robert is recognized as one of the top crime scene investigators in the Southeast and has assisted numerous local, state, and federal agencies with case analysis. Inspector Burris received many awards in recognition of his vast knowledge and experience, including being named the Outstanding Law Enforcement Officer of the Year for Mississippi. And whereas Robert has dedicated nearly 48 years of service to law enforcement, the majority with the Biloxi Police Department. He retired from Biloxi on April 15, 2006. However, he continued service by joining the Biloxi Police Reserves, assisting with cold case investigations and serving the department as chaplain. As chaplain, he provided counsel to the men and women of the department. This was an appropriate selection. For everyone who knows Chaplain Burris, he recognizes he is a true man of God. Robert is deeply respected by his brother and sister officers and his former City of Biloxi co-workers. He is called by many names: Inspector, Chaplain, Bob, Robert, Larry, but all that know him call him friend. Chaplain Burris resides in Biloxi with his wife Norma. Now, therefore, I, Andrew Fofo Gillich, Mayor of the City of Biloxi, Mississippi, in honor of his years of outstanding service to Biloxi and in observance of his 82nd birthday, do hereby proclaim the 5th day of December, 2021 as Robert L. Burris Day.